Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television.
And I'm Kim Anderson. I'm on the board of MCAT, and I'm the Director of Programs and Grants for Humanities Montana.
We want to welcome you to this beautiful spring afternoon.
Get
This installment of Missoula Lot. Just to remind you to have courage and hope, basically, that spring will come. So we really have a big lineup of a show, so I'm going to make it brief on my MCAT dossier. We have two things going on for kids and into young adulthood as well, if we count zombie camp. Then
Definitely.
You know you're hitting some mature people. Every Saturday until the Saturday before Memorial Day, from 1 to 5 p.m., we have animation drop-in, and kids are learning stop animation. Mostly with Legos. There's a little bit of other stuff going on.
Clay or...
Yes, and also dry erase.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're taking a picture, moving an item, taking a picture, moving an item. Well, they're learning some computer skills, they're learning some storytelling skills, they're learning some sort of film and animation skills. So if you have a kid you think might be interested, the suggested age range is 9 to 13 years old. There's a $10 fee for the 4 hours. But no one will be turned away.
Right.
Unless they're really obnoxious, and that hasn't happened. In addition, we'll soon put on the website information about our summer camps. There's going to be 2 animation camps this year. There's going to be an interesting collaboration with the Historical Museum of Fort Missoula.
Oh, is that new?
Yeah, it's new.
Yeah.
It's called Time Travelers Camp.
Cool.
And so we're going to use some of the background, some of the data, some of the resources like costumes and what have you that are at the Historical Museum.
What a great idea.
And then kids could study up on an interesting or horrifying, who knows, Montana scene in history or an individual, and do some short movie based on their findings. So that's coming up this summer along with the aforementioned zombie camp, and that's for kids 13 and up. It's an all-day camp.
Old enough
The
to
others are
handle
half.
the gore.
I guess that's you know. They have to be young enough to think everything's going to be just fine no matter what. And then you get older and you realize that was a lie.
Right.
So when you're really young and you want to see people torn apart, this is the venue for you. You can learn more about it by visiting the website, mcat.org, or give us a call, 542-6228.
And I just have one brief note. Humanities Montana supports public humanities programming around the state. So if you have a program coming up that is a conference or a community conversation or a lecture or any variety of program related to history, literature, philosophy, jurisprudence, or any of the other humanities disciplines, we have an April 20th grant deadline. It's all the information is on our website, which Scott is putting up right now, and you can call Humanities Montana and talk to me, Kim Anderson, and I can give you some advice.
Excellent. And now on to the first guests. Myles and Chris are in the studio
Hey.
to talk about hurling.
Hey, great.
Welcome. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having us.
I
Yeah.
love these shirts. They're great.
Yeah.
Jazzin' shirts to be sure.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They're old school. They're based on a team in Ireland that featured one of the great all-time players, Christy Ring.
I've
So
heard that name.
He's kind of the Babe Ruth of hurling.
Right?
Yep.
Now, you brought some accoutrements of hurling.
Hurling.
Now, some people would say, well, what is hurling? Like, I had to do a double take, right? When I got an email reminder, like, the hurling guys are coming. And I'm like, what? Sick again, you know? Like, oh, no, hurling
Sure. So
is a sport like lacrosse.
Cricket?
No, lacrosse I was thinking might appeal to audiences, something in there.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's a lot of sports combined into one. There's a soccer type feel to it. Baseball on the run we hear a lot about. Lacrosse, yeah, for sure. But the goal is you have a hurley stick here, and you have the ball, which is a slitter, which is basically like a baseball.
Yeah.
And the goal is to hit the ball through the uprights, through goalposts for a point, or down underneath into the goal area, which is guarded by a goalie for 3 points.
Wow.
And so when you grab the ball, you can take it and you can run 4 steps with it in your hand, and then the goal is to get rid of the ball, hitting it with the stick to your partner or shooting for a goal.
Now, Myles, is that you on the screen with longer hair?
No, that guy is
just
far more handsome.
Oh, come on. Well, Chris is up there now. So
Yeah.
this is what folks are seeing at home, that clip, courtesy of the Montana Cayman, of an exhibition game in hurling held at University Stadium 2 years ago. And this gives an idea of people how the physicality of the game, right? Like it recalls on a lot of different skills.
Right, yeah. They call it the fastest game on grass. And not just because of the speed of the players, obviously, but because the ball travels and can switch fields at such a high rate of speed, so it's all over the place, unlike where soccer, where it takes forever for the ball to get from one end to the other.
Yeah,
A good player can hit the ball 70, 80 yards easily. So
Wow.
the ball can switch, as Myles said, back and forth very quick.
Right.
And there's no defense group or offense group, right? Everyone is playing the game all the time.
Oh, this sounds chaotic.
Correct. Yeah. It's similar to soccer as a field sport in that sense. Is like
Yeah.
even when you're playing defense, if you get the ball, you're instantly turned into an offensive mind and
Yeah.
trying to work the ball up. And if you can hit the ball 70 yards downfield, you can score from most places on the pitch.
Wow. And that's possible to do with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because the opponents can get it over the netting and still score like a nominal point, like 1.
Right. Correct.
Whereas if they get it through the goalie's vigilance into the netting, they get 3.
Correct.
Oh.
Pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
On this clip, that I borrowed from the Cayman, one of the narrators, one of the people in the organization said, well, often we play a game with 11 players because when they go from town to town, they can't necessarily have that many of the 15, which is the way it's played in Ireland, right? But that Missoula could sustain a 15-member team because enough people are interested.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. But we are always looking for new players.
And that's what we wanted to get out to people today. So let's say somebody just saw that brief clip and there's something like, well, I used to play, what's that Frisbee one?
Ultimate Frisbee.
Ultimate. I think Ultimate players, for instance, might be a really good demographic to become hurlers.
For sure. Right?
Absolutely. Sprinting with a lot of eye-hand coordination.
Yeah. So if people want to learn more about it, possibly sign up, come to watch a practice, see if it's for them, what should they do?
They're in luck because the season's just getting started. We pretty much go from snow to snow. So we're itching to get outside on that grass like everybody else.
Which can be a longer or shorter season, depending.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So Scott's got a Facebook page up for people at home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a pretty good way of getting a hold of you?
Yep. We also you can also hit us up on email at missoulahurling@gmail.com.
Oh, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And hurling, people, is Hurling.
Right, hurling, the fastest game on grass. Curling.
Yeah,
Slowest
see,
game on
all
ice.
because
different
people get a
thing.
totally different thing.
No, not
I know we should move really fast here, but the one way you can move playing hurling is by balancing the ball right on the
Sure, on the hurley.
on the hurling.
Yeah, so if you have the ball and you have it on the hurley, like
And
an
you
egg
can actually
race,
run with this like a spoon and egg
Oh,
deal.
wow.
you can sprint the length of the field, but there's also angry opponents chasing you, trying to get it off of there.
Right,
Yeah,
not
sure.
quite so easy.
Yeah.
It really seems like it's extraordinary game.
It's-
that it involves so many
Yeah.
aspects of human physical performance.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it goes back. It's actually history over 3,000 years old. So it's the oldest team sport in the world, still played today. And I've only been playing for 3 years,
Wow.
and I'm like, I'm hooked. I tell you what, it's fantastic. Yeah.
So it's missoulahurling@gmail.com, or find them on Facebook. And this is the Thomas Meer Hurling Club.
Thomas Mar Hurling Club. The Grizz, the university, has a club team, and they're the reigning national collegiate champions. They've actually won the championship the last 3 of the last 4 years.
That's
so,
amazing.
Yeah, so success, the growth of hurling in Missoula it's astounding. We just came off a hugely successful St. Patrick's Day in Butte, of all places.
Yes, Stu
go
is telling
figure,
us, right? That's how
yeah.
you got here. It's like, I'm going to Butte for the hurling. I'm like,
Right.
all right.
And then do you play opponents around the state, or?
Yeah, we're in the Northwest Division of the USGAA, the Gaelic Athletic Association.
Okay.
And so we play folks from Tacoma, Seattle,
Wow.
Portland, Southern Oregon. We have to go a long way.
Denver,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our nearest opponent's a ways away. So.
Well, thank you, Myles. Thanks, Chris, so much for coming on the
Yeah.
show. And please feel free to come back, too, and give us an update on the season, or if you're looking for more players.
Yeah. Or and let us know when there's a match. I'd love to see one.
Excellent.
That's right. We're going to have a tournament April 28th.
Oh, wow.
Grizz Stadium. We'll be going all day long, and so we'll have
Okay.
information on Facebook and on our website.
Oh, coming
Excellent.
up. That's great.
Yeah. All right, I guess we better go on to the second guest. Mark Thane, the superintendent of Missoula County Public Schools, is here to talk to us about an upcoming bond levy right after this.
Sergeant Greg Amison with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about bicycles riding on the sidewalks in the city of Missoula, which we see a lot because Missoula is a very bike-friendly town. I would just like to let bicyclists know that they do have to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk safely because they travel faster than a pedestrian, so they do have to do that in a safe manner. And then when you get to a crosswalk, you are actually required to slow your bicycle down to what would be called a pedestrian pace, and you cannot begin crossing until it's safe to do so.
Missoula Community Access Television works with kids in an active learning environment where they get hands-on experience in video production. MCAT offers weekly Saturday classes that spark creativity in kids from 9 to 13 years of age. Located downtown at 500 North Higgins. MCAT Saturday Drop-Ins. Create your story.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
We are back with Mark Thane. He is the superintendent of Missoula County Public Schools. Mark, welcome. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
We always feel like we have to be on our best behavior now.
Well,
Mr. Thane is here.
Please don't feel that way.
and for a very good purpose.
Yes.
Mark is here to talk about elementary and high school operation levies that are going to be on the ballot, and the ballots are going to be mailed out pretty soon on April 18th, and they must be turned in by May 8th. So, Mark, could you explain to people a little bit about what the operation levies entail?
Certainly. First, a couple things to note. Obviously, this is an election year, and we'll have primary elections in June for a number of offices around the state. Statutorily, however, school elections take place in May. So there will be ballots mailed April 18th to all households that are served by both the elementary and the high school district in Missoula. And included on those will be trustee elections, but also a request on the elementary side for an operations levy, which represents an increase of about $300,000. And on the secondary side, an operations levy that would be approximately $170,000. Part of the rationale, of course, inflation continues to impact school districts just as it does everything else. But we're in an interesting growth cycle in Missoula. Since 2011, the elementary district has grown by 611 students. That enrollment increase has begun to hit the high school districts. We're up 104 students in the last 3 years in the high school district. So as we build our budgets for next year, in order to continue to meet state accreditation standards, we're planning to hire 5 additional teachers. So part of this is to support curriculum materials, part of it is to support things such as utilities, but part is also to support staff. We're a people-intensive industry, and about 90% of our general fund budget dollars go to staffing, salary, and benefits. So this is critical for us. We have 18 classrooms on the elementary side this year that technically exceed state accreditation standards. We mitigate that by having teachers' assistants, paraeducators in those classrooms. So we're asking for additional support from the community. The impact would be in the elementary district, the $300,000 would have an impact on a $200,000 assessed property of about $7 a year. However, it actually will translate into a smaller amount than that, a little over $5 on the tax bill, because there are some reductions in some taxes that will be levied. On the high school side, it's even more dramatic. The request is for $170,000. If it passes, however, residents would still see a reduction on their tax bill of about $4 a year, because we do have a $450,000 building reserve levy that is coming off the tax rolls. So the net effect to most of the homeowners who live within both of our districts, which is largely the city proper, would be that a $200,000 assessed property would see about a $5 annual increase in their tax bill, supporting both levies.
Yeah. And meeting accreditation does sound important. Like, one of the aspects of accreditation would be the student-teacher ratio.
Right.
That's correct. So it comes down to class size and making sure that we do have appropriate class sizes. And again, with 90+% of our budget going to salary and benefits, it leaves us very little room for paying for heat and lights, etc. But more importantly, curriculum materials. And we actually, a couple of years ago, zeroed out our line item in the budget for curriculum materials as the economy was in a little bit rougher shape. We need to make some curriculum purchases. We're looking at English language arts materials as an adoption this year. Next year we're facing a math adoption, and so there are costs associated with putting the right materials in the hands of teachers and students also.
Right. And now, if people wanted more information, on the bottom of the flyer it says, please talk with your school principal. It's kind of friendly, isn't it?
Well, we're asking all our principals to do outreach to their PTAs and PTOs.
Okay.
We also have all the information up on our website, which is mcpsmt.org. Again, we'd love to have an opportunity to answer any questions that members of the public have. We believe that we put out a great product. We're so fortunate in Missoula to have wonderful teachers, very strong educational system, and we think that it's a vital contributor to the community and to our continued economic development in Missoula. So we're hopeful that the taxpayers will understand this is a special school election and that they'll participate and return those ballots when they come in the mail in April. There will also be ballot drop-off available at the fairgrounds, as is the case with other elections. And we will have some drop-off locations on Election Day, which again is Tuesday, May 8th. But we want the voters to become informed, to ask any questions they have, and we hope they'll return their ballots and participate in the election.
Great.
That's something we could maybe do a little reminder of on the show.
Oh, that's a good
in weeks
idea.
to
For the
come.
16th and again on the 30th.
Because I know how that is. You get it, you
Sure.
set it on the desk in the dining room in my home.
Right.
And then it sits there until you go, oh my God, no, I forgot.
Yeah.
So we hope you'll get it and quickly mark it and put
Yes.
it in the return envelope.
Do it immediately. But if you don't, we'll be reminding you.
That's right.
Well, I would appreciate it.
Mark, thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you
time
again.
to
I
explain
appreciate
Good
the
luck.
opportunity to get the word out.
No,
No,
it's good cause.
We'll see you soon, dear viewer. We're going to show you a little PSA, and then it'll be time for
Jessie.
right
Historical
after this.
Museum at the Fort.
Yeah.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
No.
We're back.
Oh, already? Well, Jessie Rogers is our next guest. She is the development director at the Historical Museum
Look at her.
of Fort Missoula. And she's here to talk about spackle and grout. No, archaeology days are coming up, right?
Yes, Archaeology Day. So April is Archaeology Month, And of course, at the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula, we always do something fun around that subject. And archaeology is the study of human past through their culture and finding items that they've left. So it's not dinosaurs. Sorry.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, dinosaurs is paleontology.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Not quite the same, but we have tons of fun out at the Historical Museum. It is the 14th of April, and it'll be from 11 to 3, totally free event. And we have
Very
a
cool.
lot of fun stuff put together. So we got the university students coming out to show some of the things that they have found. We have Sydney with the U.S. Forest Service coming out with her atlatl.
Okay.
You said it perfectly off camera.
No, I almost had it. Which is a really cool ancient throwing spear.
Yeah.
And kids will get to try their hands at that. We will have like faux digs. You'll get to do an archaeology passport to win free prizes or maybe a family membership. We'll also have some bioarchaeology, which is about human or animal bones. So being able to, find out what types of bones match with different humans. We'll have excavations at the fort, so you'll be able to find cool stuff, a faux dig, ceramic pottery finds, and be able to piece those back together. Travelers Rest will be coming out, and they'll be talking about how they know that the Travelers Rest State Park is an actual location of one of the Lewis and Clark camps.
Right.
And they found that through archaeology.
It was a fascinating story how they learned all of that.
Yeah, so it'll be a really fun, family-friendly event, rain or shine, inside and out. It'll just be a good time, like I said, totally free to the public. And it's just a really kind of a good way. We're kicking off our summer season, so the Historical Museum, we have a lot of events all year long, so check us out on Facebook. If you want to keep updated on anything, we're also trying to get to 3,000 likes by May 1st.
I saw that, and congratulations.
Yes.
You're so close.
So close. We
Yeah.
just need 248 right now. That's all we need.
Well, people are going to want to check out all the activities
And we
going on
keep our
around
Facebook
us.
really updated. We do daily funny posts or cool
You do.
history.
I'm a subscriber, and it's really fun.
We try to make it like not just about what we're doing, but also interactive and educational and just fun. Like, who knew that May 31st was National Tater Day?
I did not know that.
No, did not know.
I had a baked potato.
Right. I mean, we need a little more light days because there's a lot of heavy remembrances that come up. It's really nice to have like just a little more fun too.
Exactly. And we're fun at the fort, so we like to shake it up.
So the things you have with you here.
Related to the world of archaeology.
Yes.
You're digging, you're brushing off, and you're sifting.
Yes, so with archaeology, you'll be getting down in the dig, and you'll be using this nice little brush to clean away the different dirt from whatever item, whether it's a arrowhead or a bone or a ceramic pot.
Because you don't just reach down and grab something.
No, things 1,000 or so years old have a tendency to shatter if you do that.
Right.
So, depending on where you're at, you would put dirt in the sifter and just kind of like a gold pan, you'd sift it out gently and see what you find. And people do this all the time today. I mean, you never know. We had a volunteer, he's on our board, he was walking on the river trail, and he saw something sticking out of the kind of the dirt there, and he reached down, and it was an old 1920s trolley button from the old Missoula trolley, just sitting there on the side of the riverbank road. You never know.
Right.
Our archaeology is, what we leave today will be found in 20 years,
Much
200
to our
years.
shame.
Much to our shame.
But we're surrounded
Don't
by
trash.
history.
Right. That part of it.
And so you've got your little trowel here that you'll dig things out, and then you've got your little brush, and you just brush it away
brilliant.
until you find out what you find. And where I'm from, down south in Tennessee, there were a lot of Native American areas that were in archaeology digs. We're next to the Pinson Mounds and stuff, and you'd see the digs out there and see people finding all these really amazing parts of our culture that are thousands and thousands of years old, and that's what archaeology does.
Excellent learning experience. So
Yes.
it's April 14th.
That's a Saturday.
This Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say 11 to 3?
11 to 3.
totally free
Totally free.
at 11
Yeah.
to 3.
At 11 to 3.
I think it's wonderful. And then would you suggest an age range of people to come, or just
It's-
doesn't matter, 8 to 80?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we have the wee ones. I mean, you get a 2 or 3 year old in the faux dig and they have fun. You know, they find things and it's a good
Yeah, I
time.
bet.
Yeah.
And you know, grade schoolers all the way through people who, you know, are full adults and everything. It's just kind of a fun time.
I've been hearing a lot, of parents sort of saying, "Oh, my kid's spending too much time in front of a screen."
Exactly.
And we hear that during Unplug and Play Week, which may be coming up in May. But it made me think of when I was a child, there was quite a romance about digging in the yard.
I like
There was-
eating
I
dirt as a
really
child,
liked
and that's
doing
why I'm
that.
healthy.
Maybe that's it. But it was like a mystery of
Yeah.
like what is under there.
Oh, I
and
thought
then
I was
seeing
a
the different
archaeologist.
layers. And I think we had names for them, like witch's layer. It was like light clay or something, and then my sister would say, definitively, a witch was buried there. And I'm like, oh, I see.
Oh, I love climbing trees and digging in dirt as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and the nice thing about the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula is we do have the 32-acre park, so kids can come out and run and play.
Yes.
And the Missoula County residents are always free at the Missoula Community, the Historical Museum.
That's us.
And so it's a really great place, and April is really when we kick off stuff. So, I'll probably be back on soon talking about many more of our events, but we have Archaeology Day, and then we have Forestry Day at the end of the month, the last
Yeah, I'm
Saturday in
looking forward to
April.
that.
And that is a hoot, We have a lot of activities that go on out there, and it gets people and kids of all ages. I mean, 80-year-olds love the steam engines and get out there and just have fun, So we have a lot of events that get people outside, connected to not only their history, but to their natural environment around them. And
Yeah.
that's really important in this day and age. We
Totally.
don't walk as much. We spend time in a car all the time. We
Right.
have screens all the time. It's really important to come back to nature and
And
history.
as you said, it's a beautiful space.
It is.
It's just, it's
That's
nice
right,
to
and
get out
residents
there.
can also check up on the Fort Missoula Regional Park as they go in and out of the entrance to
And there's
the
a wonderful jungle gym or whatever playground over there. I mean, I climb on it all the time. It's fun.
Yeah, there's got to be some perks to
Yeah,
having
right.
a multi-million-dollar park in your
No,
front
it's a
yard
hoot
now.
over there, and there's great walking trails. And
Yeah.
so I've almost made it to the top. I see the little 4-year-olds up there, and I'm like, how do I
And then you have to get down.
Yeah.
Life goals.
exactly. Also, it is that time of year where we're really gearing up, so we need volunteers.
You were saying to
Oh,
me
yeah.
before
Yeah,
that you're scrubbing around for volunteers.
Yeah, this time of year, especially when we're getting into the season where people are kind of getting out and about, and some of the students are leaving the area and that kind of stuff. Most of our events are free. We have a couple that are charged, big community events, but
Right.
most of our stuff is free of charge, and we really utilize the hard work of volunteers and their passion in order to do this. So everything from, working as a front desk greeter, which is really fun because you get to meet people from all over the world and talk about the museum, and it's a great time to, field trip season is coming up, so our
Right.
educational director, Christiana, who does stuff like this, she needs help, and they're really fun because you get to learn about your history, you get to take folks on tours, you get to participate in events. We do trainings and field trips for our volunteers.
So if someone wanted to volunteer, Jessie, how would they get in touch with you? Through the website?
Our website is still under construction, but you can find our contact on our website. You can find, we get a lot of messaging on Facebook. We're all connected,
Right.
And we're
Right.
able to talk to people really quickly on Facebook. You can give us a call anytime. Our phone number is on our website, Facebook, or just Google the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. And so we're always looking for people who are interested, whether it's for a few hours a month or they really become passionate, which a lot of them do. I'm telling you, you'll get hooked. And we're a fun bunch out there. And as a development person, I'm always looking for folks to help with fundraising and events and just, spreading the passion that we all have for this great community and its history.
Excellent. A word to the dear viewer, wise. consider volunteering at the Historical Museum.
It's fun.
Jessie, thank you. It sounds like you better come back on the 16th in 2 weeks.
That's
I better.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the 30th. And then
Right.
Yeah.
So then
and
there'll
I'll
be
just be
something
here
going
forever.
And in the middle of May will might
Right.
be our last show for the season.
For the season.
Yeah. Well, we'll be right back because this is not the last guest for this show.
Holy moly, no.
Mm-mm.
Hey, how's it going over? Oh, have a good day. Oh, huh, I didn't see you over there. What a nice day to be out and about today. But I want to tell you something about what's going on here. Hold on a second, let me just adjust this. Okay, there you go. Let me talk about MCAT. MCAT is doing Saturday drop-ins starting every Saturday this fall, winter, and spring season from 1 to 5 p.m. Let's go check it out. Come on. MCAT is a great way to create. All you got to do is come on down to our location at 500 North Higgins. It's as easy as that. See you there.
Birthdays come and go, each year adding up to a lifetime full of extraordinary moments. At Missoula Aging Services, we promote the independence, dignity, and health of older adults. We are ready to help connect seniors to the help they need. Knowing you've got friends to support you, each birthday can be special. See how we can help. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
We are back to talk about a really exciting fundraiser.
I can't believe this. I thought I had heard of every single fundraiser
Right.
under the sun.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. Completely new to Missoula. United Way of Missoula County is bringing a fundraiser called Over the Edge to our downtown on May 19th.
It's going to take us over the edge.
Over the edge of the First Interstate Bank building in downtown.
Yeah, so this is really fascinating, especially for the daredevils that could be in the audience. They get a chance to rappel down the, how many story building is it? 6 or 7?
It's 6. Yeah, down the First Interstate Bank building right downtown. It's happening on a Saturday, so all the people at the farmers market can check it out too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that even people that aren't that daredevil-y can do it. There is no age restriction or ability restriction at all.
Right, like I don't mean like you have to be like super fit or not anxious, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, for anxious people, it might be.
But I mean, clearly, you don't just hand someone a rope and good luck.
Right.
Right.
There are
deal of
professionals
supervision.
involved.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, there are. So there's a national company, I think it's actually out of Canada, called Over the Edge, and they help local nonprofits in different communities put on this event as a fundraiser. So for United Way of Missoula County, when you register, you are basically saying, I'm going to raise $1,000 minimum. You can raise more than that.
Yeah, no one's stopping you.
From your friends, your coworkers, your family, to be able to go over the edge. So it's kind of got that peer-to-peer fundraising thing. It's really about getting your whole community excited about this, and then you're also giving back to your neighbors in Missoula by contributing to United Way.
It's a brilliant idea, and I saw some video, I looked it up on YouTube, and it's been done for different worthy events like American Cancer Society or Habitat for Humanity, and the people that did it seemed pretty thrilled. Like it was, it was a pretty big event in their lives to be rappelling down these tall buildings. I saw in Chicago, San Francisco, and I think in Baltimore, and the company seemed to really know what they're doing.
They do, yeah. It's all OSHA certified. They come in and they do all the setup, and their staff help train different volunteers that help with the ropes. And it's actually a pretty rigorous training process, it sounds like. And they handle all of the liability and everything. And like you said, they do it all over the country. There's actually going to be one in Billings later this year as well. So it's all safe and it's all really fun, and we're planning to have a ground party down at the base for people to come and watch, and there's gonna be food and drinks and hopefully some music, and it's just gonna be a beautiful May Saturday.
Street
Yeah,
party.
and I think of the dynamic of it. It really can appeal to people that want to take on leadership in a number of ways, right? That it's satisfying. You know, some people say, well, I turned X, 40, 50, 60. I'm jumping out of the airplane.
Right.
Taking that parachute,
Right.
which often people do with few observers, but like a GoPro camera. And it costs them $2,000 to do it.
Right.
Now here, you just have to do the fundraising. And there's so many interesting dynamics, right? A scaredy cat's doing it, and people say, "Oh, I paid $200 a year, I'll never do it." And that's great leverage. So if somebody's watching, and people think of you as a nervous person, you could get a lot of people just on a dare
Yeah.
to pledge a substantial amount of money to see you come down the First Interstate building with all these people watching as well.
And the important end result is this is a fundraiser for United Way, and I think most people have a sense of what United Way is, but tell us a little bit about where all these funds will go.
Yeah, so United Way works to build a better community for all, particularly in the areas of education, financial stability, and health. And each United Way does operate locally, so when you're supporting United Way of Missoula County, you know, you're supporting our community. So we administer programs like Imagination Library, which is a free gift-giving or book-giving program for children under the age of 5. Project Tomorrow Montana, which is a suicide prevention initiative, and we're also one of the key founders and organizers and players in Reaching Home, Missoula's 10-year plan to end homelessness. You know, we've also helped start and staff Let's Move Missoula. So, you know, United Way has been in Missoula for about 85 years, and so we've been able to make a ton of friends and a lot of partners. And what we're really focusing on right now is bringing those partners together to identify some of the key issues in our community and work together to come up with lasting solutions for those issues. So, you know, you are welcome to fundraise for one of those specific programs. So, you know, if you're really passionate about early childhood education, you can say, I'm raising $1,000 for Imagination Library. That program costs about $30 per child per year. So $1,000, like, that's a ton of kids in our community that get free books every single month through this program to help get them ready for kindergarten. You know, there's a way to, you know, tailor it to your interests of how you want to support our community. And it's just, it's going to be so fun.
So people want to become contestants.
Right.
Do you say, give us a call, go online, the usual kind of contacts?
Yep, you can go to MissoulaUnitedWay.org, and there is just a little banner on our homepage that takes
We
you
see it right now.
to the info. And you register, and we call the people who are going to go over edgers. So you then become an edger.
You really
And once you register, you get, you know, tips for how to fundraise. You know, if you've never asked anyone for money before, it can be kind of daunting.
Sure.
To me, not as daunting as going over a building.
Well, sure.
But we give you lots of tips and support, and it gives you a page that you can just email or Facebook the link straight so your friends and family can go straight to your page. There are a lot of other cool, like, promotional things that other people have done, like a Toss the Boss thing where different coworkers can fundraise for their boss to go over.
Oh, no. I think people know I'm a little scared of heights.
Not scribbling notes right now.
But that's a very good point. Like you know, I have been a donor in different, you know, fundraisers that have this same model, right?
Yeah.
Where one person is asking others, please support me. But the tools they get to use are very sophisticated. It really helps. Like, you can put in emails or ask it to scan your Facebook friends or identify people. But the software itself can make it really easy to approach people with like template letters or examples and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly the number one reason why people don't donate money is because they're never asked. You know, and so it gives you tools about different ways to ask and, you know, all the information that you need about United Way so you can really go up to someone and have, you know, the support that you need to be able to say, hey, I'm raising money for this really awesome community nonprofit, and I also get to do this really cool thing. So it does take a lot of the complications and the fear out of the
Yeah.
whole process of the fundraising part. And we're also always here to help out with that. I mean, that's what I do for United Way. So
Right.
I know all
Don't
the
be
ins and
shy.
outs. Yeah.
Well, great. Is there anything more you want to say about it?
I just want to encourage everyone to register. Registration is open. We do have a limited number of spots, but the event will be on Saturday, May 19th from 9 to 5. So it's all day. Once you have raised your $1,000, then you'll be given a specific time that you're going over so you can let your friends and family know. And again, just go to MissoulaUnitedWay.org and sign up and like our event on Facebook and share with all your friends, or just come and join us and watch and then be excited to do it next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, know that MCAT would support the event too. With Media Assistance Grant, we've got a GoPro. We're going to fix it to a helmet, and then, have someone else record from the street level, make you
That
kind of
would
a
be
promo
great.
video. I think
Yeah,
it'd be really
we'd
fun.
love to do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for coming on. Good luck. It's
Yeah.
going to be a fun event.
It sounds
I
excellent.
hope you make a ton of money.
Our goal right now is $100,000. We're trying to get 100 people at $1,000 each. So
that's great.
It sounds
it's
doable.
pretty big, but I think we can do it.
This is the land of mountaineering. I mean, what's one building to some of the people in town?
Exactly. And this is something completely new. So I think that
it's going to be fun.
it's going to be great.
All right, we're going to come back. We still have another guest, Missoula in Motion.
Right.
Catherine is out there.
And another one.
Oh, yeah?
2 more.
Catherine's going to talk about parklets and... All right, well...
Jessica from
and
the food bank.
Jessica from the
Oh,
food bank.
Jessica's been waiting and waiting to talk about CANdemonium.
Oh, my God.
And we have an interesting clip.
This is the show
Scott, can
for
you
it.
show them the CANdemonium clip for the break? You put it inside the computer. All right. So take a look at CANdemonium. It's an interesting structure building contest to raise food and awareness for the Missoula Food Bank.
Perfect.
And we'll be right back after that.
Your local library, igniting the passion for reading.
How would you like to have an endless supply of books, movies, music, audiobooks, and even ebooks whenever you want? Your library card can do all that, and it doesn't cost a thing. You can pick up a library card anytime the library is open, free of charge to residents. All you need is a picture ID with your current address. The library will then verify your address, and once they have, your library card will be good for life. Library card holders may borrow several items to enjoy all at once. Be sure to check the return dates, as they may vary depending on what items you check out. It's so easy to get access to all the library has to offer, and best of all, it's free. To learn more, stop by your local library or visit their website.
This message brought...
Oh, hi, everyone. Catherine is here from Missoula in Motion. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Well, are we going to talk about parklets?
I think we're going to talk about the computer challenge today.
Right.
Oh, that's right. I had
Yeah.
parklets
We
on the
kinda talked about
mind because we did one, Scott did one last summer and had
That's right.
such a great job. But
Yeah.
that's absolutely right. The commuter
We have a lot
challenge is
going on this
coming
spring.
up.
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah, that's
Everyone's
true.
getting outside,
Uh-huh.
peeking out.
Yeah, so
But let's dive into
Okay.
commuter challenge.
it is May 6th through 19th, so it's not for a little bit, but we are getting workplaces to sign up, and the deadline is April 18th. So it's a 2-week competition where workplaces sign up and compete against other workplaces of the same similar size. And really, we just try and get people to think about commuting transportation options and really encourage everyone at a workplace to try sustainable commuting just one time. So that's our big push. And when we say sustainable transportation, it's anything other than driving in a car alone. So that includes biking, walking, busing, but then also carpooling or riding a van pool. So So yeah.
Too bad it doesn't include staying home.
It does actually.
Oh, wait a minute.
You have to be working.
You actually have to work, because otherwise it's kind of...
There is a downside.
But that is fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, the telecommuting decision, or, you know, how this could work into a workplace. And I know this seems a little like, okay, I'm off in left field just for a moment, but how many workplaces, like it can happen here at MCAT, where people come to work, but they really could be at home doing the same job?
Yeah.
I don't know.
True.
Some people do not like to mix business and
Right.
the pleasure of the home.
Right.
My older sister had an enormous debate. She was commuting 45 minutes one way on the Long Island Expressway, a very dangerous venue, right? And but she worked 4/10s at work, and they said, well, you can work from home, but you have to work 5/8. It took her 2 years to make that decision, but she finally did, and was much happier.
Because she was saving 90 minutes a day.
Oh, so much in fuel, in peace of mind, and all this stuff. But this just dawned on me that a lot of businesses could evaluate the work at home option and what it means for that business. But
absolutely, we
that's a lot of
definitely help
stuff.
workplaces figure that out too, and we have sample policies, you know, so that you can easily implement it at a workplace. And yeah, we think that's a great option for sure.
Now, I mean, I'm in a very small office. There's only 4 of us.
Yeah.
Are we too small to
No, we
participate?
have a few teams of just 2 to 5, I think is our smallest. So definitely not.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think MCAT could win something finally.
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of
mean, it's
prizes.
mostly up to me, I think. I mean, because I'm the worst driver.
Well, there's a lot of prizes, and we have 2 parties this year. One is the kickoff, and that'll be at the beginning of the challenge on Monday the 7th of May at Baird Brewery. And they were so generous that they're giving everyone who commutes to the party in a sustainable way a free first beverage. So that's very exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the final party will be at Burn Street Bistro, and tons of prizes and food and everything. So
it sounds great.
yeah, we're excited to get people on board, and May is also Bike Month, so there'll be a lot going on with that too. So,
yeah. So if businesses want to sign up for the challenge, they go to the website.
Yeah, MissoulaInMotion.com, and we'll have all the information there. And we really want people to sign up by April 18th, because on the 19th we have a breakfast. It's up in the GLR building on the top floor with the beautiful views, and we go over everything you need to know, kind of just the nuts and bolts of...
Oh, like an orientation for the commuter challenge.
Yep, we'll give you a poster to hang up at your workplace and all that. So if people sign up by the 18th, then they can be a part of that. So we encourage that.
And you're saying you can get to go up to the conference room in the Garlington Lawn and Robinson building, which I've never been to.
And there's free breakfast burritos. So why not? And
It's
coffee.
not that, how early in the morning is it?
8:30.
8:30 is not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No. Well, you know, I think the whole concept of encouraging people to try a different mode of commuting just once. I think a lot of people are like, I don't know how, you know, to get on the bus, and I'm not sure of routes and stuff. Just try it one time, and you'll realize it's not nearly as intimidating as
Absolutely. And we have a lot of resources to help people too if they've never ridden the bus or need help route planning. So, and I think a lot of times, you know, we just get stuck in our habits.
Right.
So, you know, we don't really think about, you know, we just get in the car every day without thinking about it. So, this kind of gets you to think about, oh, there are other ways I could be getting to work. And especially it's a good time to do it in the spring, because with the snow melting, you know, people are, you know, can kind of jumpstart a new habit and then continue it during these warmer months, especially if it's biking or walking. So.
And every little bit counts.
Right.
You know, if somebody says, well, you know, forget about it. In the winter, I'm getting in my car, I'm just driving down there, I don't even want to go to work. But they say, well, they soften in the May. The robins are singing.
Perfect.
No.
But do it when you can do it.
You know, every less car trip has got to do some good for the valley.
It benefits everyone. Yeah, if you can only do it just once a week, it still has a big impact on everyone.
Yeah, and I think another key to it is not, you know, for people to divide themselves into the biker, healthy, righteous, and then the slumping, spreading driver.
Because I
it just
usually
isn't that black and white.
in that second group, but you know, But then you realize I'm driving to the gym to walk around a track.
Oh, I know.
Right. So why would I not walk to the gym?
Exactly.
and get half my workout just getting there.
Yeah.
It's so smart.
Well, because we think of things, you're right. We get into a habit.
Don't think about
Or
it.
for me, you know, I live but 10 minutes away. If I get in the car, I'm here in 4 minutes. But I think, I think I have to go to the grocery store.
I might have
You know,
an
that's a
errand. What if I
game
have an
changer. So
errand?
if I have to do an errand, then I need the car.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
takes a little bit of planning.
And fun too.
Yeah.
Like what you guys are offering is like a structure, a way of measuring your success by having this little competition, and then fun, and then rewards and recognition. Like, oh, we're trying to do the right thing. Oh, we are too.
Everything's better when you turn it into
Exactly.
a game.
Yeah.
And last year we had 70 workplaces. So
Wow.
there's a big community presence. We get a ton of people to come out, so it
That's
is really fun, and we
impressive.
want even more this year. So
MissoulaInMotion.com, right?
Mhm.
It's a com. So that's where people would learn more about it and sign up. And there's time. This show will be repeating every day until the 16th.
Oh, great.
So if you're seeing the show, there's still time to go to
Right.
MissoulaInMotion.com.
Not too
and sign
late.
up.
yeah, you can sign up all the way until May, but we prefer you to do it by the 18th of April.
Yeah.
Get in.
All right,
Okay.
Kathleen, thank you so much
Yeah.
for being so
Thank
patient
you.
too.
Yes, of course.
And for sending your child to our spring flicks.
Oh, that was actually the other woman out there.
Yes, that's not.
Oh.
Oh, that wasn't your child.
No.
The woman with the food bank.
Oh, I thought your kid did it too.
No, I don't have any kids.
So it's pretty
But if I
impossible.
do, they will.
They would so be at that game.
They would.
All right.
Well,
We
in
have
any
one
event, we
more
better move
guest.
along.
Yes.
Jessica, the
Yes.
patient, will be here next to talk about CANdemonium right after this.
Brought to you by the Greater Montana Foundation and the Montana State Library.
Welcome, my friends, to Missoula Community Access Television, MCAT. And here, every Saturday afternoon, we're having a drop-in animation camp, and where you can do such wonderful things as do animating things of great all endeavors, like make Legos come to life. Or like this. Just do that. It'll be amazing. Here at MCAT, 500 North Aiken, Suite 105, every Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
All kinds of. Oh, we
Here
are
we
back.
are.
Jessica Allred is here. She's Development Director, Advocacy Outreach for the Missoula Food Bank. Thank you for waiting so long.
Oh gosh, of course, no
Yeah.
worries.
So CANdemonium.
Yes. Oh, CANdemonium is one of my favorite food bank events. We are at Southgate Mall from April 6th to the 13th, and so we have 10 teams this year. It's the biggest it's ever been.
Nice.
We're expecting about 10 tons of food
Oh
to
my
be
gosh.
donated to our food bank. So after people, I guess, you know,
Blow
the teams
everyone up.
come together, we pair them with an architect or an engineering firm so that all of these structures are structurally sound.
Oh, I didn't know that part. Oh, they're showing
Yeah,
the
they're
video.
showing again the clip, the time lapse that was on
Right.
your Facebook page.
So this is Missoula Food Bank. We did our structure this last Friday, and we worked with MMW. And so what happened is we got together and we kind of brainstormed what we wanted. Every year we have a theme. This year our theme is Lights Canera Action. So there's this film reference to all of the structures. And so we kind of came up with this idea of can sessions, and then MMW did their magic in putting together the can count and what
how many red cans and how many white cans, because the labels then become the colors for your structure, right?
Oh, cool. Sure.
Yeah.
That adds a whole different element.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. What's fun is that we're able then to give teams a list of different cans that have different color schemes, so that of our most needed items, so that all of the food that then comes at the end of the event back to our food bank to stock our shelves is our most needed food.
Right, and not 10,000 cans of
sardines.
Right.
Right. You don't want too much of one thing.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, so it's really fun. Like I said, we have 10 teams this year, which is the biggest it's ever been. All of the structures have some kind of film reference. We've got some cool local references. I don't want to spoil it, but
so each team already has their idea and their plan in place. They know what they're going to do.
You bet, yes. And all of the architects have kind of rendered all of those. The food is ordered, and then we work with our friends at Southgate Mall, and this year JCPenney is letting us use their loading dock so that we can get the food in and out easily. And then on Friday, the April 6th, all of the teams will come together and they'll actually construct these things, which is pretty fun to watch. It's kind of a fun thing to come watch. The structures will be up for a week. So anyone who wants to come by Southgate Mall can come and check them out. And then we deconstruct on Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yes, I know.
Good job.
Well, that's a wonderful opportunity for people to check out all the changes at the mall, too.
Yeah.
While supporting the
There's
food
so much
bank with
going
a
on
little
over
visual.
Yeah, it wasn't even planned that there's that new movie theater,
Yeah.
and all of our structures have to do with film.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. That is
Right?
perfect. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And so, again, how many cans are going to be involved in the whole thing?
And the whole thing, we think it's going to be about 20,000 pounds of food. Every structure is so unique. And what I think is cool with the architects, every team has their own budget. And then the architects have to scale it to be able to fit that budget.
And they're
so there's some
volunteering
skill.
their services
They are.
to make this happen?
Yep. Which is also, it's this added component of volunteerism and this very special skill that's being used for something really atypical, right?
No, definitely. It really sounds like it's worth a look. And would you encourage groups for next year to try to get involved if a team wanted to do it, like MCAT or Humanities or?
You bet. It is really one of our most fun events that we do, and there's this very tangible, this event hits the bottom line for the food bank because the food is cased food. It's a lot of it of the same product, and so that is food that we don't have to purchase, right? It's really a pretty heavy impact event. And so yes, volunteer teams, the teams, kind of the way that it goes is that the architects, they donate their time and services, right? That's their contribution. And then the teams purchase the food for their own structures. So every team kind of, like I said, comes with their own budget, and it varies. I think that we have this year structures from $600 all the way up to $1,500.
Wow.
And we work with local grocery stores to get discounts on bulk food purchases. So we, local grocery stores are also part of the impact of this. It really is a ton of people coming together.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. We've got a people's choice where families or people can go through.
You can vote?
Yes, there's a voting. Yes.
Excellent.
So that's a cool way also to kind of get different people involved and
My
vote for your
mind's
favorite.
spinning about the possibilities. Like, there's the famous Andy Warhol painting of a tomato soup can, Campbell's tomato soup, and he was kind of making a comment about the ordinary being extraordinary, or take it as you will, pop art.
Right.
I believe is what they called it. So could imagine
Recreating
trying to, or like really
with
large
cans.
with cans, and given the right types of cans, one could create a picture, just like in the newsprint. There's a bunch of dots
You
and
bet.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You could do a portrait of Mona Lisa in a pea soup or something.
It sounds like MCAT should get in on this.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely
like,
does.
there's some good things going on here.
And it's high profile, right, typically for the people that participate. So, like if Coca-Cola bottling in town or some of the large breweries want to get involved, might be really interesting for
Mm-hmm.
them.
Absolutely. And it's this really cool team building opportunity as well, right? Like you get to bring together 10 or 15 members of your
Right.
staff and do something really good and really fun and
Yeah.
something that you may not ever have done in your life. Just throwing it out there. I don't know how many people have built
Really?
jaws out of cans.
Yeah.
And then it
Right.
turns into a, like a sculpture.
Yeah.
A time installation event at the mall.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see it like at Fresh Market on Broadway. They do some pretty fascinating stuff with
Right.
Mountain Dew and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
And I think Orange Street Food Farm got in the national news for an image they were able to create
Yeah.
in the window.
Mm-hmm. So for those who aren't on a team this year, the best thing to do is to go to the mall between the 6th and the 13th.
Yes.
And check out the sculptures.
Take in the show.
Check it
Vote
out.
for your favorite one and get ideas for next year.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
great.
Well, Jessica, thank you. I guess we better go. I haven't seen Scott. Are you worried? He's worried.
Yeah.
So I guess he's
always
got to
worried.
go.
Where are
He's the
cameras?
timekeeper.
You guys put the chatty person last.
It was perfect. It went just right. where
Right.
we needed it.
Very good.
And please don't be a stranger.
Yeah,
feel free to
come back.
come
Let
back
us know
again.
how it went.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
No, and thank you, dear viewer, for watching this installation of Missoula Live. We super promise that it's going to be spring the next time we do the
I
show.
don't see how we can possibly do that.
Yeah, right. Maybe we shouldn't.
I would not.
We would say bear with nature
Yes.
as
It
patiently as you
could be
can.
eternal winter. We have no idea.
Oh, that's grim.
No, there's been a robin in my yard. So.
I saw crocuses.
See.
Mm-hmm.
So take care till we see you the next time. For MCAT, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
Thanks for watching.